Hello, I'm Peter Missing, and I'm going to discuss my theories about the art world, art, music, creativity, culture. In my eyes, culture is disappearing around the world, and mainly because of television, other iPods and cell phones and things occupying our world with everything but make your own. And the handmade art, to me, is much more interesting than the computer art these days. I can look at a lot of computer art all day long, but I don't feel anything about the computer art. So I continue to make my old school kind of style of painting. And in the painting, okay, that's my salvation for meditation, for peace, love, and understanding in the world. But it's all in my head when I'm painting, and there's nobody around. And there's chaos all outside my door. But still I continue to keep painting. And this is the true way to go. I mean, the path of creativity, I mean, this is the only way to get through the world. I mean, anything opposite or minus this theory of the path of creativity would lead me to just total death zone, a void, a black hole. Yeah, I started making art when I was about 1 years old. And I guess the actual thing I painted was when I was 3 years old, some duck or something. But from that point on, I continued to always paint, until I reached Hoboken and did a Channel 9 special of one of my art shows there. And I started showing my work around New York around 1980. And Moon Dance Cafe, which is not there anymore in Soho, okay, that was my first show. And I continued to go like that for a while till about 1983, and then I met Mary Boone and Leo Castelli, and I lost a lot of interest in art after that. Didn't like a lot of the artists they were promoting, although David Salyers novel were okay, but there was not a lot of inspiration for me from the Soho point of view, so I continued to stay in the Lower East Side. In 1980s, there was kind of a mafia running within the galleries. It was a who's who. If you didn't know the galleries, you probably didn't get into the gallery. My favorite gallery was the Fun Gallery, and there was a lot of artists coming out of there. She was quite clever and inspiring. And there was a lot of corruption back then. There was a lot of what we have today, only even more. I find a lot of the new art kind of washed out with no message. The new kids are making photographs of strawberries, a photograph of shoe with snow on it. And so I continue with my messages. I do have political messages running in my artwork. It's not like I'm trying to combine the two. It's inevitable when you have political surrounding and you have no choice. You must make political, because everything you do then is political. Okay, and most of my art over the years has developed into a multimedia thing. I couldn't just make painting alone. I had to combine it. I had no choice. I mean, that's where the world is going, multimedia. So I combined it with film footage, and now with music, which I was a musician for many years, Missing Foundation. Now with Missing Seven Hazard, our new project, which is an environmental, or a project about the environment. Water wars, nature revolt. I mean, after the water goes out, of course, art, music, and culture is going to become obsolete, and survival will take over. But I'm going to continue with my dream state of being an artist in this world. And so to continue to show the kids that it's, the computer is not the answer. Here's an example. We make our own recycled covers. And this is from Nature Revolt, and this one here is the first album and the second album, Missing Foundation. But when you look at the kids today, they're burning up the environment with all the plastic. So I thought the paper was, this is the answer, recycle, use paper, forget the plastic and the commercialism. And this is more heartfelt, and this is a piece of art in itself. I go in the record stores, I'm bored right away because it all looks like generic. Everything looks generic. Of course, the sound is not generic, but with art, painting is still alive and well. Some people say it's dead. I don't think so. Painting is alive and well. There's still a lot more to be done with painting. Of course, we had the Renaissance period We had many periods like Dali and many other artists came along, Van Gogh, for example. I mean, these people are hard, they're hard to beat. But if the art is coming from inside you, and it is coming from you, it is a real piece of art. It doesn't matter when you made it, what year you made it, or what time it is. It's now or tomorrow. This piece of art is real if it's coming from you and you didn't copy it. And most of the new generation is just copying, and they got a long way to go to find out where their real inner soul is. And the only way you can find that is with your doing it by hand. Okay, I'd like to discuss the Nature Revolt album that we released. It's a DVD film. It's about 14 new tracks that we've been working on. And in the Nature Revolt album, there is a lot of beauty, a lot of innocence, a lot of naivety, a lot of 60s concept revival for love, love, love. There's a lot of statements about big cars. There's a lot of statements about the water, the air, the soil, and the food that we eat every day. And if there was a message that I could possibly push across in music today, love would probably be the only one I could come up with, because there's so much hatred and destruction in the world that I would say that our love, love, love will stick in your head forever.